The Hollowvale Hospital. My name is Daniel Carter, and I live alone in a small town called Ashland, Oregon. I have a roommate. His name is Liam Novak. He's a quiet guy, keeps to himself, works at a hospital. That night was just like any other. I was at home watching a movie, half paying attention. Liam came in for a bit. Seemed like he was in a rush. He didn't say much, just placed his bag on my bed and left again. It felt like he wanted to say something, but didn't. Later, while shifting around on the bed, I tried to move the bag. It slipped from my hand and hit the floor with a thud. The zipper came loose a little. Out of curiosity, I glanced inside, and I saw a few strange things. A small wooden cross, what looked like an amulet or charm, and some other odd items I couldn't immediately identify. At first, I figured it was probably something religious, maybe part of a personal ritual or something spiritual. So I didn't think much of it. The next morning, I woke up to find Liam already back. As soon as he walked into the room, he asked in a slightly anxious voice, "Did I leave my bag at home?" I nodded. "Yeah, you left it on the bed. It was right where you put it." He let out a deep sigh of relief, almost like he'd been holding his breath all night. "Thank God. I couldn't have gone to work without those." He picked up the bag and held it close, like the things inside were way more important than they looked. I laughed and said, "What are you, into black magic or something?" He gave a faint smile, but there was something serious behind his eyes. "I couldn't afford that kind of thing even if I wanted to," he replied. "These are just for safety." That caught me off guard. Safety? Safety from what? My curiosity spiked. Something about the way he said it, the way he held that bag, it didn't feel like he was joking. I leaned forward and asked, "Come on, seriously, what's the deal with those things? They don't exactly look like religious stuff." Liam paused for a moment. His face tightened slightly, like he was debating something. Then he said quietly, "We're not supposed to talk about it. The hospital has rules." I said, "Yeah, but you're not in the hospital now. You can tell me." He took a deep breath, looked me in the eye, and finally, he began to speak. Liam looked at me, then slowly said, "I'm telling you exactly how it happened. Just listen." He took a breath and began speaking. "The kind of work I do at the hospital, it's not your usual stuff. When someone dies, I'm the one who takes the body to the morgue. I check if the room is clear afterward, handle paperwork if needed, bring medication for doctors and nurses, basically, whatever needs to be done." His voice got a little heavier. "And this job, I got it after a lot of struggle. Before this, I spent 6 or 7 months without any work at all. Nothing. I was running out of options. So when this offer finally came out of nowhere, I didn't ask any questions. I just took it." I nodded. I still didn't quite understand where this was going, but there was a strange unease building inside me. Liam continued, "During my first month, I worked the day shift. Things were normal, but from the second month onward, they switched me to nights. That's when they told me, during night shifts, I should check in on the other staff every now and then, just to make sure everything's okay." I asked, "You mean, to check if they're slacking off or something?" He shrugged. "Maybe. That's what I thought too. I figured it was just about accountability. I mean, there are CCTV cameras all over the hospital. If anyone really wanted to check, they could. But honestly," he added, "I didn't care who was watching or not. I just told myself, I'll do my job properly. That's all that matters." And so he did, on his own terms, without questions. Liam paused for a moment, then continued, "I was doing my work like usual, just going about things on my own. Everything was fine, until it wasn't." His voice grew a little shaky. Suddenly, I noticed someone walking in through a door in the corner of the room, dressed completely in black. At first, I thought it was one of our coworkers. Maybe someone new I hadn't met yet. But then it hit me. We all wear light blue hospital uniforms. No one wears black. I leaned in, listening closely. I looked again, but there was no one there. The spot was empty, completely still. I figured maybe it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. You know, dim lighting, night shift fatigue. Later, I went into an empty room to grab some cleaning supplies. I reached for the switch to turn the lights on, but nothing happened. I tried again and again, but the lights wouldn't come on. I thought I'd just step back out, but then I realized I couldn't find the door I came in through. It was gone. The whole room felt different. No windows, no sound, just thick air and darkness pressing in. I was starting to panic. My hands were cold, but my back was covered in sweat. And then, all of a sudden, I felt someone's warm breath on the back of my neck. Liam stopped for a second. His eyes looked distant. I didn't think. I just ran, tried to bolt out of the room, but I slipped and fell to the floor. Next thing I knew, 2 co-workers were standing over me. They had rushed in and were saying, "Didn't we tell you to check in with others every now and then during night shifts? Are you okay?" I just nodded. I didn't say a word about what I saw or felt. If I had, they might have called me unfit and kicked me out of the job. I just told them, "Yeah, I'm okay, just not feeling well. Bit of a fever. That's probably why I tripped." Liam spoke again, his voice quieter now, like the memory itself was heavy on his chest. Nothing happened for the next 7 days. Everything was normal. I kept doing my job as usual. The staff reminded me again. During night shifts, always check in on others every once in a while. It's a rule here. I nodded. They didn't say anything else. They didn't try to scare me. No one told me this place had any sort of paranormal activity. No one hinted at ghosts. Everything seemed normal. He paused, breathing slowly, then continued. One night, I went to use the washroom. While I was in there, I noticed a window was open. It was made of clear glass. I don't know why, but the sight of it, just wide open in the middle of the night, gave me a strange, uneasy feeling. So I walked over and shut it. And that's when it happened. Liam's face turned pale as he spoke. I saw a horrific face pressed up against the glass. Not human, at least, not anymore. The skin looked half melted, the eyes sunken and wrong. The mouth opened just enough to show sharp, broken teeth. And it wasn't just staring. It began to move along the outside of the glass, slowly, like it was circling the building, watching. I stared at him, frozen. I started screaming, as loud as I could, but no one heard me. No one came. And then, that thing began to come inside. Through the glass. Not by opening it, not by breaking it, but by somehow melting through it. Like its body was sliding in through the surface of the window itself. Liam's voice broke slightly, and at that point, I blacked out. When I finally opened my eyes, I wasn't in the washroom anymore. I was lying on a couch in a room I'd never entered before. It was warm, dimly lit, and smelled like old leather and incense. My head was throbbing. That's when I realized I was in the director's office. 3 people stood around me, 2 staff members and the hospital director himself. They looked pale, serious, not surprised, like they'd seen this before. The director sat down across from me and spoke in a calm, deep voice. "You were found unconscious in the east wing," he said, "by the washroom window." I sat up slowly. My voice was hoarse. "What happened to me?" I asked. "What was that thing?" The director didn't hesitate. "We didn't want to scare you, Liam. But this hospital has a history. Strange, dangerous things have been happening here for years, especially at night." I stared at him in disbelief. "You mean ghosts? Spirits?" He nodded. "Not just spirits. Entities. They don't just haunt. They imitate. Sometimes they take the form of patients, or even staff, especially doctors." I felt my skin crawl. "So what do I do now?" I asked. He leaned forward, and for the first time, I noticed the small wooden cross hanging from his neck and a silver vial of what looked like water on his desk. "From now on," he said, "never start your night shift without carrying 3 things: a cross, a vial of holy water, and if you can, a small protective charm. Some of the staff carry verses, others carry amulets." He looked at me dead in the eye. "And if a doctor gives you an order late at night, make sure he's wearing a cross. If he isn't..." He paused. "Don't follow the order, no matter what it is." I could hardly breathe. They can look like doctors?" I whispered. "Yes," he said. "And if you listen to them, sometimes they don't just get you in trouble." He leaned back, his voice darker now. "Sometimes they kill." Since that night, I've been doing my night shifts exactly as they told me. I follow every rule. Cross, holy water, charms. I carry them all. I've learned to trust their rules, because breaking one might mean not making it through the night. But still, even after doing everything right, that strange, sick feeling never goes away. The deeper the night gets, the more I feel it. Someone is watching me, not through the CCTV, not through any human eyes. Something else, something I can't explain. And the worst part? When I walk down the corridor, I sometimes hear footsteps behind me, echoes of steps that aren't mine. And sometimes, when I glance down, my shadow isn't alone. There's another one, moving, slightly behind mine, almost like it's following me. I keep turning around, but there's no one there. The hallway is empty. The lights flicker. And yet, my chest tightens like something unseen is right there, just out of sight. I'm scared, truly scared. But what can I do? That's all for now. That's all I'll say tonight. Did you enjoy the story? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Horror Dream. Want more stories like this? Subscribe to The Horror Dream, and we'll bring you more darkness just for you. If you enjoy a little chill down your spine, stick around. Like, share, and hit that subscribe button right here on The Horror Dream. Your support keeps us going, so stay with us. Subscribe to The Horror Dream for more spine-tingling tales.